Hello, I'm ETarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years in the 1960s, now an atheist, which means I find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. My clergy dialoguer, local Catholic priest, TJ, told me recently that since he is the one who believes in God, the burden of proof is therefore on me and my fellow atheists to show that there is no God. I challenged him on that point, and as part of the challenge, I sent him Qualia Soup's brand new masterpiece of a video entitled Burden of Proof. TJ watched it and he gave a response in which he said in part, "It is a helpful video in understanding your position. However, I choose with the evidence I've experienced to believe in God. I know you don't need to prove he doesn't exist, but I haven't seen any evidence from the atheistic camp to change my mind or my heart." Unquote, Father TJ. Well, that is, from my point of view, some progress in this dialogue. And progress, again, from my point of view, has been apparently in very short supply. TJ has actually given me some data which he considers to be evidence that his God exists. In this video, I will present some of his data and respond to them. TJ says, and I paraphrase, "How did the creation of the world come to be? It had to start somewhere. I say it started with God. What gives our bodies life? I say God gives our bodies life. Where does love come from? I say it comes from love himself, God. Where do our emotions come from? They are proof to me that God exists. Why would I receive assistance to say the right thing to a person in distress many times when I needed it most in my priestly ministry? I say that assistance came from God. Who made the Grand Canyon and the Himalaya mountains? I say God made them." Here are some quick responses of mine. TJ, I don't know how the universe came to be. Scientists are working on it. We don't need a God as the answer. What gives our bodies life? Scientists are working on the unanswered question of how life originated. We got our lives, of course, from our parents. As for human emotions, their existence does not give me any evidence whatsoever for the existence of any God. Concerning help in saying the right thing, Qualia Soup, creator of that marvelous video, Burden of Proof, and many other videos, in a message to me has this response. TJ's God isn't helping him present valid arguments in your dialogue. Wouldn't an infinitely wise God know how to convince an honest skeptic? Why, I wonder, is TJ's God so selective in helping TJ with his words? I know from your comment sections that many people, including me, recognize your own consistent ability to find the right words. I credit you with responsibility for that. There's a sadness for me in the way many theists assign responsibility for their abilities to their God, while their faults remain their own, placing us in the wretched position of receiving no credit, but all of the blame. Another way in which religion demeans us." Unquote, Qualia Soup. Concerning the Grand Canyon and the Himalaya mountains, there is not a shred of evidence that any God created them. We can rely on geologists and other scientists to tell us how they came to be as they are. And Qualia Soup adds this. It's interesting that TJ claims that the Himalayas are evidence of a God. Why not 2 gods, or 3 gods, or 4 gods? Or more than that, if he's going to invoke the divine, how can he establish monotheism? If he can't establish basic monotheism, then worshiping a single God becomes a rather blundering activity." Unquote. Qualia Soup, thank you so much for your burden of proof videos, for all your other marvelous videos, and for all your insights. But as I understand it, TJ does not acknowledge the need for evidence for the existence of his God. He has faith, and for him that is enough. He has said to me, "Edward, I feel so sorry for you. Faith is one of the gifts that helps us with our reason. I'm sorry that you can't see that." TJ, faith is belief despite the absence or inadequacy of evidence. As I say in my Evidence versus Faith video, faith will get you nowhere in court, in medical decisions, or in the myriad of practical decisions that we make in order to live our lives. The same should be true in religion. Faith is not a virtue. In the video before this, I showed by logic that TJ's God, the Catholic God of the Bible, involves the contradiction of being all good, yet morally evil, and that therefore TJ's God, the Catholic God of the Bible, cannot exist. As far as I know, TJ has not accepted that logic. One of his God's evils is to order the mass killing of infants. Concerning this, TJ said to me, quote, "I don't know why God would call for the killing of infants, but he has a reason for everything he does. I trust that he knows what he is doing. Should I listen to you, a human being? Are you smarter than the creator of the universe who made the Grand Canyon and the Himalaya Mountains? Why should I follow your logical puzzle instead of this God that I believe in?" These words of TJ point out to me how difficult it is to dialogue with him. More than anything else, it seems to me that we need to try to get across to him that faith is not a virtue. His burden of proof is extremely important, and that he has not yet satisfied his burden of proof. To all of you, thank you for watching this video.